Pachi. Hello everyone. Today I have an amazing video of all beautiful sweets, no sugar added, and they are delicious. We have fruit, we have some almond butter, we have chocolate chips and white chocolate chips. They say they have no sugar, it says in the bag. And we're gonna do something amazing for Halloween or for any children's party. And if you want these for adults, we're gonna add some spice to some of them. Let's go. We're gonna melt all our chocolate in my microwave, which is a tiny one. I have to do it for 2 minutes, but normally it's just 1 minute and they're perfect. Let's go. So now we have our white chocolate and our dark chocolate melted. And the second white chocolate, it's in the microwave right now. You know, my favorite that I use of utensils are the forks. So we are going to mix our white chocolate, add some Greek yogurt, because we're going to make a spread, and half a teaspoon of coconut oil. And we go with our dark chocolate. And while it finishes melting, I'm going to bring our white chocolate back from the microwave. Let me add this. You don't want to need everything in the bowl. And to this white chocolate, we're only going to add the oil. We're not going to add any yogurt. We're going to add a half teaspoon of the coconut oil. Okay, I think the dark chocolate's gonna need 30 seconds more. So I'm gonna place it back in the microwave for 30 seconds. It's better to underheat the chocolate than to overheat it, because when we overheat it, it doesn't have a return most of the times. Okay, so now we have it totally and completely melted, shiny and beautiful. And the first thing we're going to do is bring a pan with covered parchment paper. If by any chance you have some foam, you can actually place your berries on some foam. Let me see if I have anything here. But I can put them in this cup. That cup's too big. Let's see here. Because we are going to just cover our chocolates with some of this delicious chocolate leather and sit there. I have a crazy idea. I'm going to put them on some of my garbanzos. Yep. It's delicious. So we can do that with each of our blueberries. Let the rest that's dripping drip all off. Now we're going to have some chickpeas or garbanzos with chocolate. Let me see if I can do it like this, a little bit better. Oops. Better to do it one at a time if you don't have any foam to stick them into. Oops. Oh. One more. Saved by the bell. Here we go. I'll just wash my garbanzos. No problem. Nothing's gonna happen to them. Now we're gonna dip some of our orange slices, half of them. And these you can just place them on your paper. I don't know if we can see them here. Get this out of the way. This is what we're going to do. We're going to dip them and place them in a baking sheet that's lined. You know that the other day I bought some orange slices. These I dried here, but I bought some orange slices, and for some reason the package said like 100 calories per slice. Well, that's impossible actually, because if it's just dry, an orange will give you, even if they're thicker, at least 6. And an orange has between 70 and 100 calories, which the fiber in the rind will reduce the amount of sugar into your bloodstream. So it cannot be that they are 100 calories a slice. You know that the odd-shaped ones are great for something like this, like Halloween or like a kid's parties. They're all going to want the ones that look different. Maybe adults, we want them all looking round, but the kids, they're going to love the odd-shaped ones. Okay, so here we have some of our oranges that will be refrigerated for 5 minutes. And if it's cold where you live, you don't have to refrigerate them. In 5 minutes, they're going to be dry. Just put them right there. And now we're going to start with our white chocolate. Oh, I forgot to mix this. And we are going to get our next sheet pan ready to, remember this one did not have Greek yogurt. This one has Greek yogurt. So we are going to use these for the pecans. And what we're going to do, we're just going to drop half pecans. They are going to be really fun. If you don't mind, you can add chocolate sprinkles to the white chocolate. You can add some, like we're going to do, we're going to add some dark sesame seeds. And you can add some sunflower seeds, some roasted sunflower seeds. Because these are going to be like Casper. These are our Caspers. We're going to add a couple of eyes to these. And kids are going to love them because they're going to be like the friendly ghost. They can actually help you do this because there's no right or wrong way of getting it done. Just dip them, get them half covered in a little bit of chocolate, white chocolate, so that we can do like the dark sesame seeds as eyes, or some sprinkles if you want to. Some sunflower seeds that are green and they're longer and they're going to look like, oh my goodness, I'm scared. Almost there. These are tiny, so that's why I'm making more. Well, so are the blueberries. We can make some more blueberries in a minute. I'm going to show you how just mix them like that. And you are ready to go. Okay, so now we have some leftover of the white chocolate. And what we're going to do is we're going to add some almond butter that has not been sweetened. And mix it well in there. And we are going to cover now our red apples. You see, they are dark red on the sides, and I did not take out I never removed the peel, but this time I didn't take out the peel, especially because we wanted it to be seen. Like we want to see this little color. That chocolate is all over my hands. Now we have a little pastry bag, and we are going to add our white chocolate mix that has delicious almond butter. Take this out of the way. And we're going to add it to our apples. You can actually add more almond butter if you want, or less almond butter. It doesn't really matter because it's going to go to the center of the apple, and that's it. Now let's cut a little tiny hole. Let's put the apples here first. Let's arrange our apples. And you know, I love when I dry them that all of these odd shapes come out because they're more fun. You know, I dry fruit all the time because it's I need a snack now and I want it to be sweet. Dried fruit is sweeter because the sweetness is concentrated. So it's also good to drink water with the dry fruit because your body's going to want some to kind of digest it. Okay, so here is our peanut butter and white chocolate. What happened to the dog? We'll find it in a minute. So here goes. This one has a hole, so we're going to do it on the side. Where did that little piece of plastic go? That's kind of like too much. It's a piece of chocolate that didn't melt. And the seed, nothing's going to happen with your seed. It's probably actually going to help your digestion, but you can remove it if you want to. This one had like too much. Let's. Okay. Now we are going to add, these are dry fruit from hibiscus. These are dry hibiscus fruit that we're going to add on top or in the bottom. But we're going to take the bottoms off because we want them to look like spiders. So we're going to add them on top of our white chocolate. And if it's for adults, you can put a whole one. Just put like the whole spider there. And it's fit for kids. Actually, you can put the little one, the whole one for anyone because they're going to think it's very sour and they might not want to eat it. So it's just a decoration. Oh, here's the bigger one. So we have 2 little leftover ones. We can add a pecan there. And here. And here. So here we have our dry apples and our pecans. And the last thing we're going to do is the pears. Oh, we forgot to put the little eyes on the, let's see if they're still. They're not falling on very well, but let's just put them like this. It'll be easier if they are sunflower seeds because you can grab them with a little tweezer and add 2 by 2. You can have dark sesame seeds like this, and they also look fun. They look like they're full of ants. So check them out. Here we have our apples and our pecans. Now we're going to do our pears. Clean this up again. To the pears, we're going to add some dark chocolate. Ooh, we had an extra one. And we're going to add our chocolate to another pastry bag. Okay. And I said I was going to leave some in the bowl to show you a trick with the blueberries. So here we go. So we're going to add some blueberries and just swirl them there, and they'll be covered. They have to be dry, very dry, for this to work. So earlier, I washed them and left them like that so that they would dry. Oh, we can still put some more here. Let's put some more. Let me get some parchment paper so they can dry. We can still add some more. Let me see. Let's add them all. You could do this with cranberries, but that would be really tart. Let me show you something fun. We are just gonna drop our blueberries here. They are gonna dry. And when they dry, which is gonna be in about 10 minutes and you're gonna see it, you're gonna see that they're really fun because there's some blue coming out of the middle. They're not totally covered. So they are very fun looking. Here we go with our pears. See the shapes. So we see what we're gonna do. Okay, let's start. The odd shaped ones are the ones that I like the most. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna make like a couple of eyes of chocolate. Tiny couple of eyes. Okay. And we're gonna add some pieces of pineapple that I dried. Ay, se me quedó la nevera abierta, sorry. Something. A little bit of chocolate to each pineapple so it stays on the. So these are really sweet and delicious. You have a piece of almond. And you can actually add any other thing like some raisins instead of the almond if you don't want to add any nuts. Let's add some of the chocolate on it so that it sticks and the pineapple sticks. It's going to be like the glue. And you can add any dry fruit you want. This is like the scared mouths of those eyes. You know that if you don't want to add colored sprinkles, you can actually buy freeze-dried fruit and process it and then use it as if it were sprinkles. Okay. Ay, gracias. Okay, and now we're ready to organize a platter of all of these delicious, natural, and fun candies for kids. Let me show you because we have our... We have our cookies, refrigerator chia cookies that we can... Look at this. They are beautiful. If you want to, let's add some of this that kind of dried out. And we can add a little bit inside, on top. And we can make little smiley faces. So here we're almost done. Sometimes we get little pieces of chocolate that didn't melt in there and we need to get them out of the way. And here we have our smiley cookies that don't even need baking. And you can make them in minutes. Let's take out our cupcakes and our brownies. ¿Dónde vamos a poner los cupcakes? Let's get these cupcakes out. You can actually add anything to the cupcakes, but I think we have already lots of things added. Tú sabes que esas otras eran manzanas rojas y no peras. Actually, these were pears and the other ones were apples, but they work out the same way. I wonder why they look different, but with the apples, what you do, with the pears, sorry, when they're elongated, you just add the chocolate like this. So here we have our blueberries. And check them out because they're like rustic and rough and you can see some of the blue inside. So they are great to have for kids. And these look beautiful if you want to have a nice party. But these are great for like a Halloween party or any other party that you want, where you don't want them to be so perfect or you don't have a lot of time and you just want to get them some delicious snack. These will do. So here we have our blueberries, our chocolate covered blueberries. We can decorate them with some little pineapples inside so it gives them some color. And you know, you can actually buy diced pineapple and then just dry it. You don't have to buy a whole pineapple and dry the whole thing. You can just slice the little pieces of the dried pineapple that you can buy. So here we have like a little pineapple rose. Use this one that's longer to finish it. And we place it on top. In a warm weather like I am in, it's better if you can put them at least 5 minutes in the fridge and they'll dry up really hard and then they will be easier to organize on a platter. Because like you see, they're shiny and beautiful, but they're hard to stack together. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna organize them like this. During the winter time, or if it's cold, they're gonna dry in 5 minutes. So then you might have a problem with your chocolate that it hardens too fast. So what you do is you keep it under a bowl of warm water so that it stays melted and you don't have to re-melt it again. Look at how beautiful this plate looks. Let me see what we do in the middle. Let's see if we can do this, this, and this. Something like this. Whoa, nice. And then one that's kind of standing up. And another one standing up. And last one standing, no, this broke. Let's do a last one standing up. So we can have a beautiful platter. Ooh. I don't think it's going to be a good idea because this is moving all my chocolates, but we can do something fun here. Just so they're not all sitting. Okay. Oops. You know, when you're going to clean a dish with chocolate, it's easier to use it wet, believe it or not, because then it doesn't spread all over and it gets clean easier than if your paper was dry. Okay, so here we have some smaller plates so you can make the table more fun. Here we go. Kids are going to love these. And they'll be dry, so the chocolate's not going to be sticking to their hands. Let's see what's here. So they have all kinds of looks. These actually are pears. They're just cut on the other side. And maybe an apple here and there.